In this video, I'll be taking a more detailed look about how to work in the Teams tab within Microsoft Teams. So you can access the teams that you're part of via the Teams tab on the left hand side here. Most of these teams you will have been put into automatically, and also if you need teams created for a special purpose, you can do this and add people yourself. First of all, I'll go through this dashboard area. You can change the way this looks if you want. If you aren't happy with the order your teams are in, you can just simply pick them up and drag them around. So if some teams are more important to you or use more frequently, you can have a rearrange just by dragging them around. If there's teams in here that you don't use very often or are old but you just want to keep the information anyway, you can just hide those teams. So if I want to hide this team, I can just simply select hide and hide. It doesn't delete them, it just goes in to the hidden teams. You can still get to them, but they're not there for you constantly. You can also change the view of this team's dashboard. If you don't like these big tiles, you can go to the cog up here, switch view. You have various options. You can go to dark mode, you can make it more compact, but you can also go to list view. Close that, and as you can see, those teams just appear down the left hand side, and you can expand them all individually. So if you have teams with lots of channels in, you can see those channels instantly and just flip between them. If you want to get back to that tile view, the cog has now moved down here, and you can go back to switch view and go back to grid. You will also have access to two types of teams. You will have a general team, so just a general team. Any files for that team are accessible, editable by all members of that team and can be accessed from the Files tab up here. You have another type of team, which is a class team. These are teams that are specifically made to work with students. They come with a general channel, but they also come with other features like a home page, a class notebook, assignments and grades. And we'll go into these in more detail in other videos. But to work in those teams, you go into the team, and like I said, you get a general channel. This is a default feature in Teams. You can start a new conversation, bearing in mind that if it's a large team, that chat will go to all the members of that team, but you can do that. Files are kept in the Files tab. Now, to work with files in Teams, it's very similar to SharePoint or OneDrive. You can start a new folder or a new document from within here. You can also upload in here, so click on the upload option, click on Files, find the file you want to upload and click open. That will then upload it to the folder you are in, and as you can see, it's right there. And there's more stuff you can do within the Teams files area. If you want to share something, for instance, you can go ahead and do that. Click the folder or the file you want to share, click the share option, enter the email address of the person you want to share it with, and click send. And there is another video on detailed sharing options. You can copy the link. So if you just want to send somebody the link, either in the chat or somebody you know has already got access, and remind them where it is, you can copy the link and send it to them. You can download whatever it is, and you can also add the shortcut to OneDrive. So what this does, in your own personal OneDrive, it's going to add that shortcut folder for me. And if I now look in my File Explorer in my OneDrive, I can see the shortcut to that folder called 6th, and in there is Doc1. So if I go in here, there's that Doc1. That's syncing that to the OneDrive app. Again, you can see more about that in the OneDrive video tutorial. So to work with files inside Teams, you can go ahead and do that. So I can open this document and it will open within Teams. So you don't have to leave the Teams app to work at all. You can go ahead and work in there, just like you can in the Word application or in the browser. If you don't want to do this anyway, you can go ahead and change the editing options from within here. You can either open it in the browser, which will open in the browser version of Word. As you can see, I'm now in the browser editing that document. And with anything within the browser version, it's constantly saving it. I can go ahead and close that browser at any time, and I can continue back if I want to. As you can see, those changes are there. If you want to use a full-blown Office application, if you have these installed, again, you can go ahead and do that. And open in the desktop app. And this will open up the document in the full Microsoft Word package. And again, you can go ahead and do that. Because autosave is always on, because you've made this document in the cloud, then it will constantly save for you. You never have to save it or worry about it. It will just constantly save that document. And again, there is another video on working with documents in more detail. To close that document, don't press this X in the top right corner. That will close Teams entirely. You just have to use this close option here. And that will close the document and take you back into that file area. To navigate back, you use the breadcrumbs up here. So if I want to go back into the assessment folder, I can click that. Or indeed, the general folder, I can click that.